Kingsbridge Healthcare Group was founded in 2004 by medical directors Dr. Suresh Tharma and Mr. Ashok Songer. Their vision at the time was to create a world-class healthcare facility by putting patients at the forefront of everything they do. Since their very first clinics held at number 352 Lisburn Road, that vision has continued to grow and become a reality today. The Kingsbridge Healthcare Group now consists of everything you see in the videos that follow. Hello, I'm Mark Regan, Chief Executive of the Kingsbridge Healthcare Group. I'm here in the Lisburn Road outside our first hospital, Kingsbridge Private Hospital behind me, but some of you may have heard the name previously 352 Healthcare, which we used to be known as. That comes from 352 Lisburn Road, where we had our first premises about 20 years ago. Those days there were 1, 2, 3 employees in the first year, but that has now grown to over 670 employees, not just in this facility, but in numerous others across the country, including our other 3 hospitals, one in Sligo, one in Kingsbridge Northwest in Limavady, and then of course the one behind me, Kingsbridge Belfast, which we opened in 2011. I'm going to tell you a bit more about each of those now as we take a journey through and hopefully welcome you on your first day that will be a lasting memory. So I'm here at Kingsbridge Private Hospital in Lisburn Road, 811 Lisburn Road to be exact, at the far end of Lisburn Road facing the King's Hall. King's Hall is important for many of the patients you'll speak to that come from all over Ireland as they use that as a marker for the location. In here we have 3 operating theatres, soon to become a 4th in the extension next door, 22 inpatient beds, that's soon to increase by another 12. So, it might seem strange I'm standing here in a lift talking to you in what should be an induction video, but it's a special lift, particularly for any of you that watch the drama The Fall on TV. This is the lift where Jimmy Dornan and Gillian Anderson had to fight in the second set of the episodes that were shot here in Kingsbridge Private Hospital. And you'll also remember seeing Jamie in Aaron Murray's suite across the road. So we're now in Kingsbridge Northwest, here on the north coast. Kingsbridge is based in Churchill House in the village of Ballykelly, which is just about 5 minutes away from Limavady. I'm in the MRI department now, which is quite exciting times here. We've just installed a new magnet. That's a magnet that has an important feature attached to it, or a service I should say rather than a feature. It'll be doing anaesthetised MRIs, mainly in kids who need to go into the magnet for half an hour or so, but usually typically they can't stay still because they're so young for more than a minute or two. So it's a new service and probably the only private service in the island of Ireland that will afford this at the minute. The rest of the hospital is also really exciting in terms of its size and so spacious. Whenever we were in Belfast, you'd have seen everything is quite tight and cramped, albeit it's expanding to meet the needs of the service. Here in Ballykelly, we have the complete opposite problem. We've got capacity for 38 beds, with 3 operating theatres, 2 of them are laminar flow, and we have a host of other land around the facility that allows it to expand. Just recently we done that when we moved into what was the old Ballykelly Army Barracks, and we opened what is now an outpatient centre called the Liz Dallas Outpatient Centre, in memory of the old manager who worked here. I say old as in she used to work here, not that she is old in case she ever sees this. So we're now in the Kingsbridge Training Academy here in Falcon Way. This is my friend Annie, and Annie, together with the other more productive, hopefully, members of staff in the Training Academy, have trained thousands of people over the years on basic life support. That's not the only thing we do. We take that right up to advanced life support and a host of hundreds of other courses, including some really interesting ones such as teaching kids how to prepare themselves for their university application if they wish to do nursing, medicine or dentistry. Some of those were in the very first course that we done many, many years ago and are now fully qualified doctors, and in fact a few of them are now consultants. So this place really does make a difference, not just to the people that are trained through here, but on many an occasion for people's lives outside who have been saved through the skills and knowledge that people have learnt in here. So hopefully someday you'll be back through and you'll see Annie, and together you'll make a real difference. So we're now 125 miles down the road from Belfast on the western seaboard of Ireland in Sligo. Kingsbridge Sligo came into the group in 2015 and was the second of the 3 hospitals that we have now. The whole facility is being refurbished and ultimately will be rebuilt in the near future as we've received planning permission for a substantial extension out the front of the hospital and the lawn. We also have Alliance MRI here on site, and very soon we will also have blood on site for emergency situations, which allows us to increase the complexity of the surgery types that we offer. This is a unique hospital in terms of location. If you were right up in the very far corner of Ireland in northwest, in Letterkenny, and you were to drive all the way down the western seaboard to Galway, the only private hospital in that journey you would pass would be here, Kingsbridge, Sligo. Add the next level to that for cross-border patients, and they can go to northwest and to Belfast, meaning having all three hospitals on both sides of the border places in a unique situation to be operating in both jurisdictions. So I'm here in Potters Quay, which is the new home to 352 Healthcare. 352 Healthcare was the very start of our group back in 2003-2004. We first contracted with the NHS. We now work with the HSE in the Republic of Ireland, and over the last year we've contracted to around 40,000 outpatient episodes for both the NHS and the HSE. So yes, while we're a private healthcare company, we also play our part in partnering with the NHS. They're moving out of their current offices in Channel Road to here in Potters Quay, just at Albert Bridge across the way. As you can probably see behind me, the views are probably the most stunning of all of the facilities we have. I'll let you have a peek out the door. So I'm here now in Cosmetech. Every journey for cosmetic surgery starts in here in a consultation room. They all look pretty much the same, no matter where you go. And when you leave here, you then be referred on. If you do have surgery, you will go to Kingsbridge in the northwest, Kingsbridge Belfast, or Kingsbridge Sligo. By the time you're reading this or hearing this video, it's likely the Cosmetech brand will have been readdressed and re-emerged and born into something entirely new, a new brand identity covering something along the lines of the Kingsbridge branding you see behind me. And that's the idea behind that, is to get us to a stage where we compete with the big brands across the UK. Many of you have heard of companies like Transform, and that makes us bigger and look more agile to be able to compete with them. Remember that surgery is not always full cosmetic surgery, such as breast augmentation, tummy tucks or rhinoplasty, but it also includes smaller things such as thread thins or Botox or dermal fillers. They can often be done in places like this, where the surgery goes to the hospitals. But what we're trying to create now is a one-stop shop for all things cosmetic or aesthetic. So this is the last destination, so anyone sleeping, you can wake up now. We're now in the Lisburn Road at the Kingsbridge Opticians and Hearing Care Centre. This is one of 3 sites that do eye testing, and all of the glasses and opticians behind us. Abbott's Cross and Donaghadee being the other 2, in addition to here, next door to the main hospital in Lisburn Road. But they also do hearing tests and dispense the tiniest hearing aids you'll ever see. Tiny wee private hearing aids pop into the side here. You wouldn't even notice they're there. So hearing care is delivered in all optician sites, but also in the hospitals here and in Ballykelly, and also at our clinic down in Maypole in Hollywood. Across the group we have dedicated teams, all of whom are committed to delivering high quality, comprehensive services with excellence, compassion and competence. As CEO of the Kingsbridge Healthcare Group, I oversee all aspects of that, but that's alongside my 3 colleagues, Dr. Martin Shields, our Medical Director, Sarah Marks, our Chief Operating Officer, and Jeremy McCartney, our Chief Finance Officer. Behind all of them, of course, is 670 other staff, including a senior management team. But rather than me go through each of them individually, I would like you to have a look at them when you're next back at your desk at the intranet site. So that was a whirlwind tour of the Kingsbridge Healthcare Group. Hopefully it's given you a bit of a snippet about the impact that all of these facilities and the staff can make for thousands of people across this island every year in terms of healthcare. One last thing that I want you all to remember, every one of these buildings and every one of the staff that you'll have seen on the journey, they all know about the Kingsbridge way. And that's what I want each of you to take home from today, how to do things the Kingsbridge way. You'll hear more about that later. Thank you very much for listening.